Hello, I know the world has been waiting with bated breath to hear my opinion on the Bruce Springsteen cancellation fiasco. So, here it is, and please listen to the entirety before you gnash your teeth or throw anything at your screen. I think what I'm about to say is well reasoned. You may not agree, but good friends can disagree. Correct? All right. First of all, will I still be going to Bruce Springsteen concerts? Absolutely. Will I continue to buy Bruce Springsteen albums? Absolutely. Do I agree with him canceling his concert? Not at all. I disagree. Anybody that knows me knows that I believe homosexuality is a sin and we should not support it. Now, at the same time, I don't think they should be mistreated or abused or anything like that. They should have civil rights just like anybody else. I just believe that the act of homosexuality is a sin, as I believe adultery is a sin. And therefore, I can't condone that lifestyle. But I love the people. All right? Now, regarding the law, I don't know enough about it to comment. From what I've read, and if this is true, I disagree with it. What I've read, and again, I may be wrong on this, but from what I've read is if you are a what's quote-unquote transgender, somebody that's actually had the surgery, you've had your privates changed, then you cannot use the bathroom that you are now of, or that you are that the surgery made you. In other words, if you're a guy, you get your surgery to where you no longer have your male parts and you now have a female part, you still have to use a man's restroom because that's what your birth certificate says. Now, I don't agree with that, and here's why. I think if you've had the surgery, you've had the surgery. It makes no sense for you to go into the restroom you were born in at that point. Now, having said that, I don't think people like Bruce Jenner that are just dressing up as a man or a woman have any business going into the opposite sex's bathroom. Okay. Now, having said that, I vehemently disagree with people that have the surgery. I think it's a mistake. I think there's a mental issue there, and I think it's going to lead to more problems. But once you get to that point, I mean, I think it's kind of stupid to make somebody that's had the surgery, to whatever gender they've had the surgery to become, to go into the opposite restroom. That's just me. We can agree to disagree. And also, my understanding is the law prohibits homosexuals from suing their employer if they've been discriminated against. I think that's wrong as well. Now, having said all that, let me just say one more time, I'm against gay marriage. I'm against the homosexual lifestyle, and so on and so on. But I also think you have to use common sense in some of this stuff. And realize not everybody is a born-again Christian. Amen? So they look at things differently. They look at things through the unsaved eyes, whereas we, or a lot of us, look at it through the eyes of the Bible, which is the correct way, but we should have mercy towards those that don't. Okay? Now, having said all that, do I think Bruce should have canceled his concert? Not at all. I totally disagree with that, disappointed by that. I understand the disappointment of those that bought hotel rooms, travel expenses, and so forth. I would be totally upset. Fortunately for me, my concert was a few days before it and was not canceled. Okay. So, yes, that disappoints me. But there's a part of me that understands, okay, this is what he believes. He's standing up for what he believes, however wrong it may be. So, there's that point. But also this. I've been following Bruce Springsteen since 1984, or right around that time when I first became aware of him. I was a kid. And for the last 32 years, his music has been a big part of my life. I'm a huge Bruce Springsteen fan. I look back throughout my life, breaking up with a girl. If I hear a song, I know what girl I was with, what girl I was breaking up with, A certain song reminds me of my marriage. A certain song reminds me of deaths that have occurred because Bruce Springsteen has always been in the background. Now, so his music means something to me, so I'm biased in this. I have some of the most joyous times of my life for seeing Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band in concert. I can't tell you the joy it brings me. Okay. Again, though, totally disappointed in him canceling the concert. Don't agree with it. But over the last 3 days, I had to ask myself, does him canceling that concert negate all the other good things he's done? Does it negate the hundreds and thousands, if not millions of dollars he personally has given to wounded warriors? Does it negate the hundreds and thousands of dollars that have been raised for homeless shelters at every concert he's had since the 80s? He has food banks in the lobby to raise money for the homeless in that city. Does that canceling that concert negate all that? Does it negate the kindness he and little Steven showed me and my family when he met Garrett? And does it negate Garrett, my autistic son, whether you like it or not, it's the truth, him beginning to verbalize through his music? Does it negate all the things he's done for cops and other folk? Because I'm a fan, I'm aware of the multitudinal things he's done for veterans. And I'm a veteran, so I respect that tremendously. I know that at one time the local VA, and I think it was New Jersey, was going to go under. A veterans group out there. He single-handedly saved them. So, does one act negate a lifetime of doing good, doing well? Now here's where I think there's a little bit of hypocrisy. A lot of the people that say, I can never have anything to do with this liberal celebrity who's coming in and trying to impose his values on us, blah, 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 blah. Forget all the good that I mentioned that he does. They're focusing on that act that they disagree with. Yet these same people are going to be, if not already, some of them have voted and will vote for Donald Trump. And I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. But the fact is, he's been liberal most of his life, and even during this campaign, he's been caught lying several times. And he said some atrocious things about people. He's done some terrible things to people. He's had several failed marriages, cheated on his wife, yada, yada, yada. Yet, your morals are cast to the side, and you're going to make this guy president of the United States. Well, that doesn't make sense to me. Let's be consistent. All right? So, and we're all hypocrites to a certain extent, aren't we? So that's my take on this Bruce Springsteen thing. I really think it's stupid. People, he hasn't robbed a church. He hasn't cut off any babies' heads. He canceled a rock concert. And in the grand scheme of things, that's not the biggest thing to be worrying about on planet Earth right now. All right? So I'm sure I'll be getting some replies here. I love you no matter what you say. Well, most of you. I'm just kidding. You have a good day, and see you down the road.